And welcome to round 10 of the SLR T2 Championship. And today we're at Monza, and we've got two Italians on the grid today with Matt Noah and Racing Cairo, as they will be hoping to take the checkered flag for their respective teams and hopefully push each other for the championship. Oh dear, got so much wind. The standings are as followed, as I will load them up. So then we will find out where we are. 'Cause I can't remember from last week off the top of my head. So F1 Cairo, Skin Up and Matt Noah are in the championship hunt, and they're all here this week ready for battle. 37 points separates the three. Skin Up second, F1 Cairo third, and Frederick a distance fourth, but he's not here this week, so that pretty much rules him out, and same next week as well. Unfortunately for him, if he was turning up, he probably would be in it as well, especially for the top three, because obviously the top three then have half a chance of being in Tier 1 next season, if they play their cards right. But today it's the battle for pole at Monza, very, very fast, the fastest track on the calendar, the Temple of Speed, as it's nicknamed, and we'll see who's the quickest, really. Obviously mainly made up of straights with a few difficult corners where you go at them at high speeds, especially like Iscara chicane, for example. Turn 1 is a difficult braking zone to get right. But we're watching Dusty as he starts his lap in his Toro Rosso, as he crosses the line now. Start his flying lap as he goes now into turn 1, braking around 120 meters, just about getting it stopped there. And onto the power, and away he goes down now into turn 2, and the rapid, I can't say that, Retifilia de Posta or something, I think that's what it's called, I can't remember, but into turn 2 he goes now, left and right, and then into the first Lesmo and the second Lesmo, and raking as much as there's 5th gear in these cars, pretty much 4th, 5th gear, but it's quite a cold track at the minute, which will mean the grip is sparse, so tyre warm-up is going to be very important for these guys, and who will get the best out of them, we'll have to wait and see until the end of the session. Got some very quick drivers here today, and it'll be a nip and tuck between who will be getting this pole position, but the favourite obviously will be Matt Noah. Dusty's probably going to be up there, he's backed off on this lap, so that's the end of this one for Dusty. He's on the softs, interesting enough. I'm presuming it's a faster tyre than the soft there is as the supers. And Matt Noah's on them at the minute, and so is F1 Cairo, as Dusty comes across the line with 21.7, which isn't competitive at all. And he will know that. As he'll be hoping to improve that on his next run. Obviously, he slowed down on the last one, so I'm presuming he can go quite a bit quicker, as the Jammy Dodger is nearly a second back on Dusty, as he sets his first lap time. See if Matt Noah can improve as he now comes across the line, and he can. It's a 20.3. That's a little bit better from him. You'll be hoping 19s though is possible. Alfie was setting them in his practice for this race, so I'm presuming they're possible. And F1 Cairo is currently on his super soft lap. I don't know how good it is compared to Matt Noah's, but he'll be hoping he can go provisional pole. But for how long for? As he comes around the final corner of the Parabolica, which is a much easier corner these days than it was before, as now he comes across the line. And is it going to be 90s? No, it's not. It's going to be just outside. It's going to be 20.1, and that's provisional pole by 0.2 of a second so far. Jose's out there on the mediums, so I don't expect him to be particularly competitive. Mucky Meats went P3, by the way, as Matt Noah's going quicker by 0.2, so he's going to be very close to F1 Cairo, unless he messed up the last few corners. And that's really wide into Iscara there, and I'll be surprised if that's not invalidated, to be honest. As he comes now to the Parabolica, and we'll see exactly what happens. He's not using his ERS, so I'm presuming it's invalidated. As he comes into the bits, so it is invalidated. I think Mocky might be on another lap. F1 Cairo isn't. Mocky Mix isn't either. We've got lots of rear wheel man returning this week. There's Ben Gallagher goes pole with a 19.893. So the first man into the 119s, and he's comfortably provisionally pole by 0.3 of a second so far. People at Vanquish are on a lap as well as he goes around turn 2 now. We've got Skin Up and AJ also on a lap, going out at different moments as well. Maybe they're just going to 2 runs instead of the traditional 3 that we see. I think F1 Cairo went for another lap as well. He has gone for another lap. He backed off and went for another one. Ben Gallagher's ran out of fuel, I think. But he's provisional pole, and he'll be happy with that one, I'm pretty sure. As we'll stay on board with Vanquish in his Ferrari on home soil, he'll be hoping he can be the person to challenge Ben's time. As both Ferraris are not set a lap so far, as he comes around the Parabolica now, and he comes across the line, and what time will it be? It's going to be a 1920. It's going to pitter. It's coming to the pits. You're going to be excited there. His Skid Up now comes across the line, and is he going to be challenging? No, he's quite far down. And AJ has span on the exit of Ascari. So the first runs are pretty much over. It's Ben Gallagher, of all people, on his return to Tier 2. He had a bit of a break for reasons no one really knows. But he's on provisional pole so far. And he'll be happy with that one, for sure. And then from Cairo comes across the line, and he takes provisional pole with a 19.5. So the times are tumbling, as that's another 0.3 off of Ben Gallagher's time. And it's a pretty decent lap from him. And there's quite a few people that can't probably do that lap time, so it's very nice for him, especially to be ahead of Matt Noah. And that's his challenge now for the next 4 races, just outscore Matt Noah. And then he's got half a chance of challenging for the championship, because he's 37 points back at the minute. Got Dusty starting a super soft lap, so it'll be interesting to see if he can improve. He's extremely quick in time trial, so we'll see what he's got in his locker and what can he produce against F1 Cairo today. He's I don't think he's won a Tier 2 race yet. I'll have double check that one. He obviously did. He won Austria, so another very fast track. So maybe the fast turning tracks are suiting Dusty's driving style since he moved to no assists. And so he comes down now to the Ascari chicane, and he'll be going in there with some rate of knots, 5th gear, holding it in nice and tight. Doesn't lose it on exit, nice and clean. And now he'll be heading down to the Parabolica, the final corner on this track. He's just carrying as much speed as possible to maintain and see if he can get anywhere near that pole position time of F1 Racing Cairo, as he comes now across the line. And will it be in the 19s? It will, and it's just over half a tenth off of that pole time so far. So the two Toro Rossos are 2-3 so far, but F1 Cairo, the Italian stallion, is currently on pole position. Vanquish is on an outlap after his failed attempt at his laps the first time round. Rocky Mick's also on an outlap. Matt Noah's on a lap, and he's Renault, and it looks like it's going to rain soon. I'm not going to lie. It's looking dark, so the people who have set laps, it's good for you, but because it's definitely getting misty as well. But no rain yet. It's interesting to see if it will rain in the race as well. But the current pole times are 19.5, and we've got 2 guys on that 19.5 as well. As he comes around now the final corner, will Matt Noah be able to get closer to pole? I'd like to think so. A 20.3 is not a strong time compared to the other guys, as he comes across the line now, and it's going to be a 19.6, so 10th off. So a 10th between the top 3 so far. Will Ben Gallagher be able to improve as he heads down now into the Lesmos as well. We've got Mockymix coming to in the middle of his lap. There's not really anybody coming to the end. There's Vanquish actually, who's running a bit out of sync to everybody else so far this session. On his second run on them supers. Hasn't got a lot more supers than presuming. As he comes around now, the Parabolica, and he comes across the line, and will he be able to get any closer to the pole? And it's an 18.6, so there's 4 people between a tenth of a second. And now we've got Ben Gallagher. Can he get anywhere near pole position? I mean, to have 4 people in 10th, that's pretty special. And will Ben Gallagher be able to produce anything special as AJ improves just to get ahead of Ben there? And Ben Gallagher gets pole with a 19.4, and he's now 2 tenths between Vanquish and himself, just over. So that's pretty decent for the top 5. AJ goes P6 at 19.8 just to get a lap on the board there, but it's only P6 at 19.8 so far. Pretty much the whole field's done 19s, well, majority, well, more half of the majority. Well, you could say the majority, but yeah, the likes of No Way Jose's on the soft, so he's probably building towards that super run rather than rushing towards it. Obviously it's a very short track Monza, so he has time to go in and out of the pits. And I think Bengala goes back off. F1 Cairo is going for another lap, I think. Oh no, he isn't. He saved his ERS, so let's rule that one out. Dusty's going for an early run instead of the last minute run, so he's going to try and get out of the way of all the traffic, whereas everybody else will probably get a bit. Mind you, there's only 11 cars on the grid, so that'll be 10, so no, probably won't be too much traffic. But it's a very short track, so it can happen. Bit like at Monaco, for example. But obviously this is a wider track, a lot more free flowing. And well, I don't think Dusty meant to put it in the wall there, but he did. And I wonder if Matt F1 Cairo's starting his lap, because he's saved his fuel, he's got enough fuel, and it says he's at 0, so he must be. Yeah, he's going a bit out of sync as well as F1 Cairo, as he starts his lap. And going down into turn 1 now. And Dusty as well. I think Real Willman, and then there's the Jammy Dodger, who's on them supers, and he's going to be starting his lap soon, I think. He actually pits instead. And really the only 2 people to watch on this track at the minute are Dusty and F1 Cairo. Will any of them to be able to displace the almighty Ben Gallagher, who's currently sat there sitting pretty on pole, just by 700th, so there isn't a lot in it, but there's not a lot of time you can gain in this track. But track evolution will be key, especially at the end of the session, as he's 2 tenths down on his time. He's F1 Cairo, so he doesn't look likely to be challenging Ben's pole time. We don't know about Dusty though. We'll keep him on F1 Cairo, see if he made a mistake at the end of the lap on his first attempt. As he comes around the Parabolica now, and he's about to come across the line, and he pits actually. He's decided that he'd rather have the fresh tyres. As Dusty now comes across the line, and will it be pole? It will! And that is a crackerjack of a lap, a 19.0. 4 attempts clear of Ben, and he immediately retires because he thinks that's pole position. And we'll have to wait and see if it is. But it's a great lap from Dusty. Not quite the T1 laps of last season. As T1 set I think it was a 18.6 or something or other. But no one's yet to hit them heights. But 19.0 is not a bad lap by any means. And will anybody else be able to challenge Dusty's 19? And will Matt Noah be that person? I think he's on an out lap actually, I was watching. Yes. There's Vanquish now, comes across the line to start a lap. AJ has also started a lap. Mocky Meeks is also in the middle of a lap, I think. Yeah, he's in a full hot lap mode. Then he's Sauber. As he comes around the middle sector now for the two Lesmos. And down now towards Ascari, opens his DRS on the beautiful Sauber car. And into the braking zone now, carries as much speed as possible. He's carrying a lot of speed there. And manages to get it in and out of the corner. And will he be anywhere near pole position? Obviously, a 20.4, it's 1.4 seconds off so far. But we don't know if that's a good lap or a bad lap, or we don't know what Mocky Meeks is capable of so far. As now he comes around the final corner and he's going to come across line. It's nowhere near pole, but it's a 0.8. He doesn't even improve on his position. He's only just off of Alfie, who's now coming around the final corner as we get to the back end of qualifying. Mocky Meeks will be able to get another lap in there, but he's retired, so he's not going to. And Alfie comes across the line now. Will he be able to improve and get anywhere near pole position? And it will be a 19.6 only. It doesn't improve his position, despite improving his time. And here goes Vanquish as he improves to P2. But still, 3/10 shy of Dusty's pole time. As Ben's backed off, so he's going for a last run. And so F1 Cairo's winding his lap up. Matt Noah is doing the same. Skin Up's retired, so that's a disappointing qualifying for Skin Up, who was hoping for much better. He's starting on them softs as well. Oh, and AJ's in the wall, he's out. I think that's the... Where is that? I don't know, but Vanquish is out as well. We'll throw the Lesmos, possibly. I'm thinking. Because F1 Cairo's tied. So they're dropping that fast. There's only Ben and really Matt Noah on the track who are really going for pole. I mean, no way Jose's gone on the supers to see if he can get anywhere near, but it's not looking likely as Ben's actually pit. So that's Ben Gallagher's challenge out of the window. And the only person on track is our title leader and let's say F1 Cairo's title rival, Matt Noah. And he'll be hoping he can't improve that much because he's only done a 95 as Cairo, and he'll be hoping to start ahead. And it's crucial for the championship. So this lap could be championship defining in its own way as he comes around now, the Lesmos. And will he be improving? Will it even come up to say he's improving? As he comes down now to Ascari. And he is improving by 200ths. He needs to find a bit more than that, it's fair to say, before the end of the lap. Especially if he wants to go anywhere near pole position, he's find 6/10 rather than the 200ths he's finding at the minute. As he goes around the parabolic, and now no way Jose did not get to the line, so he comes across the line now. And will he be able to get anywhere near pole? It's a 19.4, so he beats F1 Cairo, which is crucial, and that gets him 4th on the grid. And it's fair to say he'll be happy with that, Matt Noah. But Dusty's pace was the star of the show there, as he managed to get P1 on the grid for this Grand Prix. And with Vanquish P2, 3/10 back. Ben Gallagher P3 was probably a surprise P3, and was only just quicker than Matt Noah, 6,000ths quicker than Matt Noah. But yeah, it's very surprising to see Skin Up so far down. Von Cairo were disappointed in the end, but no Italian on pole for this Grand Prix. Obviously anything can happen. This is Monza. It's a slipstream fest. I'm seeing Liverpool squad because it's the Champions League final today, so I want to make sure. So I'm a Liverpool supporter, obviously, not a Tottenham supporter. If you're a Tottenham supporter, you've never lived. It's okay. It's okay. Right, as we get underway for this Grand Prix, obviously at the end of this Grand Prix I'll be watching it. So, should be an exciting couple of hours for us. I hope you guys enjoy this race, as we've got 11 cars on the grid today. Not quite this, let's say, the turnout we wanted, but a few people are busy, unfortunately, like Mustang and Frederick. And we went to have Griever, but he's not on the grid. So we're meant to have 12, but he's not here. So, yeah. Be interesting news. We've got Dusty on pole, by the way. Vanquish in P2. Ben Gallagher F3. Matt Noah P4. F1. Great. F1 Cairo. AJ and Mockweeks 5, 6, and 7, as they've got this queued from the formation. Skin Up P8. And Jose P9, his teammate. Rear Wheel Man in, or Rear Wheel Jazz now as he's known, in P10. And the Jammy Dodger. I keep calling him the Jammy Dodger, but it's not the Jammy Dodger, it's Jam Dodger. Just Jam. Or Jame. Jame Dodger. Jame. I'm calling him the Jammy Dodger because I just like that name, Jammy Dodger. I don't like Jame Dodger, that doesn't sound very nice. So the Jammy Dodger, Jammy Dodger rounds out the grid for today's race. But the man who's got it all to lose is Dusty at this point, and probably Matt Noah, I'd say, to an extent. Obviously this championship is going to be crucial. He'll be hoping for no contact into turn 1 and just have a clean race. That's all he needs, 4 clean races, and there he is, SRT2 champion. And whoever wins the championship obviously wins F1 2019 and also gets to go to gets to go to T1. Yeah, that's right. Whoa. As well as the opportunity to. No one's actually took that opportunity yet. I wonder if Matt Noah will be able to. Obviously, the No Assist League now T2 might help that fact. But as we now head to the lights for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, should be an exciting one. Should be an absolute slipstream fest. And we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Matt Noah has left the session. That is crucial. As the lights are out, Matt Noah's not here. And his car's still here, so he can rejoin. But he's going to drop like an absolute stone. And the championship leader will not be pleased. At all. As he's just going to go backwards. Vanquish has managed to jump Dusty. And he is in the lead of this race. Dusty will not be pleased with that start. Ben Gallagher is just sitting behind as well. So the start from Dusty has been absolutely dreadful here. As here goes Ben Gallagher round the outside of turn number 2. But it doesn't manage to get a stick. Alfie's managed to find his way into P4 early on. With Skin Up P5. Mocking Mix P6. And Matt Noah's just going backwards. I wonder if he needs an invite. Can I invite? No, I can't. With Jose P7, Cairo P8, F1 Cairo's had a shocking start. Skin Up is ahead of all of them out of nowhere, and that'll help his championship a great deal. As a Mocky Mix is looking at him now, and it doesn't look like Jose's going to forfeit that position easily, as he's on the soft tyres as Jose as well. We'll just get that up for us. Yeah, Jose and Skin Up are both on the softs. So the Force India's going for a slightly different strategy to everybody else. But the gaps are starting to form already. But the top 3 within a second of each other, going on to lap 2. As Vanquish sets the fastest lap, obviously. And here goes Dusty into turn 1. Will he be able to make the move on the Ferrari? He's gaining all the time. And doesn't send it down inside, but into turn the second corner there. Doesn't manage to. I thought Ben Gallagher got hit there. The two Force Indias are concertinaing a little bit. With Mocky mixing behind, we're getting some shocking camera angles, I must admit. And here goes No Way Jose on Skin Up. Will he be able to make the move, or will he play the team game here and just let Skin Up have his championship, let's say, helped? And it doesn't look like that's the case, as Jose heads down the inside into the first Lesmo. But Skin Up holds the position for now, and crucially, Ben Gallagher has overtaken Dusty, and Ben Gallagher is now looking at Vanquish for the lead of this race. So we're into the turn of Scary, should I say. As Ben Gallagher runs to Narnia, his BTG stands for Bottle Job, obviously, and he nearly bottled that one, it's fair to say. But that car looks fairly firm to the floor at the minute. Doesn't look like, obviously, actually this time last season, not this last, 2 seasons ago, Ben Gallagher made his SLR debut, and he crashed quite a few times at Monza. So he's having a better time of it now, and it'll be interesting to see if he can catch up to the back of Vanquish with a bit of DRS possibly, because with that slipstream he's doing a pretty decent job. And oh god, there goes Dusty. I think he missed his braking point slightly, and that's allowed AJ to go through. So Dusty has gone from hero to 0 there. Skin Up's now into P4, and I'm presuming Jose are just falling through. Jose's actually fell quite far back. Matt Noah's joined, but he's 11 seconds off the next car. I'm presuming he can catch Jammy Dodger, to be fair, because no offense to Jammy, he's not the quickest driver in the world from what I've seen. But the top 3 are all still together. I mean, Vanquish has managed to pull 9 attempts on Ben. I think Dusty would have got past Ben if he wouldn't have bottled it. But it's Alfie's turn in his Ferrari. So can Ferrari make it a 1-2? There's an internet in sector 2. Wonder who that is. There's F1 Cairo's making a move on Jose. It might be... oh no, it's Jammy Dodger. There's F1 Cairo's made the move on Jose. And Supersofts are starting to win out. As there's an incident in sector 2 and 3 now. I think that's still the Jammy Dodger. There's Ben Gallagher has actually slipped behind Skin Up. So Ben Gallagher's made a mistake here. And it's a Ferrari 1-2 all of a sudden. From pretty much nowhere. Ben's bottled it. Dusty has as well. Skin Up's in P3. I mean, that's great for him. He's in a great position, especially on soft tyres. Later on he can push on and on and on. But it's more how many drivers will finish. We haven't had any contact. So it's been nice and clean, but Vanquish is leading the Ferraris away in first and second so far in this race. Skin Up in his Force India and P3. If it stayed as it is, the championship would be down to just 15 points with 3 rounds to go. But well, actually it'd be 16 points because Matt Noah's got 1. But yeah, I'll say that. But we've got a bit of a queue behind Skin Up though, including both of the Torossos who have kind of bottled behind them at this point. There was both ahead of them, and then they both made mistakes and went behind them. Oh, Skin Up! He's out! And that is disaster for him. That is not what he needed. And now the person I want to talk about the championship is F1 Cairo, who's now in P5. But Skin Up has brought out the virtual safety car. Straight away, the Jammy Dodger's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. It's all up Matt Noah at the minute. The virtual safety car. As the Jammy Dodger is retired as well, so we're down to 9 drivers on this Grand Prix. But it's fair to say he's bottled it with Skin Up. He had the opportunity to make something of this championship, and he's made a mistake. A big mistake, and it's going to cost him a lot of points. And they're the sort of mistakes you can't really afford to make if you want to win a championship. There goes Dusty. And F1 Cairo's now into P4. These Torossos are just gifting positions away. I swear. It's like their favourite hobby. But Dusty's tyres might be a bit off the cliff after what he did in turn 1. But Cairo's now looking at Ben Gallagher for the podium. Oh, F1 Cairo nearly bins it into the Parabolica. And talking about somebody trying to make up positions, Alfie's looking at the lead. And he wasn't expecting to be looking at the lead, I'm pretty sure. But the two Ferraris are looking like they're going to be switching places not too far in the near future. So the only force in the race now is Jose. Mockymix is still looking at the back of that Force India. Okay, that's all race. And he's getting a bit frustrated, it's fair to say, as Jose's getting a wiggly bottom. Just about keeps on track. But Will Mockymix Bennett more like, well, no, like making the move. But F1 Cairo's the current winner in this lot. Mano's only picking up 2 points, he's picking up to 10. So that closes it down to around 29 points. So by 1 point, it's not really what they want, but you know, oh god, Mockymix has crashed. Diascari. And I'm presuming he'll be pitting fairly soon. And I'll give Mano another position. And everyone's just bottling it at this point. They're not really doing very well. And here goes. Well, a 3-car train really, but Dusty's got the best chance here on his teammate Ben. Round the outside of turn 1. And will he go right round the outside of turn 1? Ben's trying to go somewhere where there's no room, and F1 Cairo just slips down, so they haven't helped each other really there. But that promotes F1 Cairo into P4 as he now looks at Dusty. Dusty's doing a massive favour here, and will he stick his nose in? If he was a bit more alongside, he definitely would have, I'm pretty sure, but he wasn't, unfortunately for him, as Real Man picks up the penalty. And Alfie's getting very close to Vanquish now. So close he might actually make the move on the Dutch driver in his Ferrari. And now Alfie down into the Parabolica is going to have all sorts of opportunities. Does he stick him behind? That would be the smart thing to do. Or will he just go for it because it's the lead? He sticks him behind. He chooses smart option. 4th gear into the Parabolica. And now he goes down into turn 1 with DRS. Vanquish will probably have to relinquish this position with his teammate having far superior speed with the DRS open, as there's a lot of weaving further back. But it's AJ who's going to take the lead of the race, and he's also got a red helmet on. I'm presuming that's for Niki Lauda, I'm presuming, and it would be a great thing to see that winning, to be honest, a Ferrari with a red helmet. But here goes Vanquish around the outside of Alfie, and doesn't quite make the move, and it looks like Alfie's gonna, I don't know if he's gonna pull away because they're not too dissimilar in pace, but these three further back are having a right ding dong. Not so much Ben, he's dropped off a little bit. F1 Cairo and Dusty have been going all over the show on the straights. But will Vanquish be able to catch up to the back of AJ again, as AJ just overtaking him? Will the Dutch driver be able to vanquish his opponents, I suppose? There's a good word for it. And into turn 1, it doesn't look like these 3/10 back, a bit of DRS possibly. He's gaining, will he be gone? He doesn't go for the inside, he goes around the outside, and it looks like AJ's got it. Oh god, AJ's but very late, but tactically places his car in the right place at the right part of the track, and that's allowed him to keep the position, as Dusty has been overtaken by the Merc of F1 Cairo finally, and it depends, will Dusty be able to get that position back on the Merc with a bit of DRS, because the DRS is proving to be quite a use in this race. I'm expecting Jose to be catching up later on the supers when everyone else goes on to the softs, so this might be a bit more of a battle later, but it looks like Dusty can't keep up with Kyle, which is interesting because he was on pole by 3/10. But in the races, nowhere. And the thing is that AJ's using the same setup as Dusty, so maybe the tyres have just gone a little bit. But Vanquish is keeping up very nicely with that Ferrari teammate of his. And it looks like he's going to be in a similar position that Alfie was in a few laps ago. As they go around the parabolica, he's going to take a nice wide line, carry as much speed as possible, and then put his team... Oh god, he nearly followed him into the pit wall. AJ gets a 5-second stop and go, and that's the end of his race, win gone. As for speeding in the pit lane, I don't know if an ice cream Vanquish hit him or something. Maybe. I mean, I'm just speculating at this point. I'm not saying anything true, but you know. There's Matt Noah overtakes AJ, but only for a little bit. AJ's got his 5-second penalty now to contend with, and penalties are going to be a big part of this race. Vanquish hasn't got any, and Cairo has, Dusty has, no, Jose hasn't, Rue Wellman has, Matt Noah's yet to pick one up, Alfred Jensen hasn't got one in such, he's got his 5-second stop and go, so if he can pull 2 seconds on Vanquish, and then he gets a penalty, then he wins the race. But this is all theoretical at this point, as we are heading towards halfway point in this race, and the gaps are starting to make themselves pretty known. As Vanquish, oh, that evens things out. I spoke about that 5-second stop and go. Alfie's got one, and now Vanquish has got one. Obviously, Vanquish will not know that Alfie probably has one. And same way with Vanquish, Alfie not knowing that Vanquish has one, so it'll be interesting. But who will come out ahead? As we're getting the worst camera view of all time. This is a lovely camera view. As Vanquish comes out of the pits, and Alfie is, I wouldn't say nowhere to be seen, but he's further back, and he will gain a lot in the bacon. So kind of similar, as Alfie's tried to brake a little bit later. Maybe he's had a bad lap. But he's on the medium tyre. Why is Alfie on the mediums? I'm pretty sure they didn't have to go near the mediums. Maybe that's an accident, but that's an accident that probably cost you the race. Maybe he just wants to push more on them, I don't know. But the mediums are also in the softs, I'm pretty sure. And that's probably why I slipped behind. We've got an insurance, so sector 3 and it's Dusty. So pace, but no consistency, it seems, for Dusty at this point. His Vanquish isn't a million miles away from overtaking him. And, oh dear, he can't even drive in straight lines. He's got a puncture, actually. Oh, it does, he's got a left rear. So, that's why he's skating about like an ice rink. He's picked up a puncture. So, before I criticise him, maybe he's just not being able to keep attention of that. As Vanquish goes through, and Alfie will be as well, and probably Matt Noah as well. F1 Cairo is currently leading this race, but he's in the pits now. And coming out, oh jeez, Alfie got a bit scared there, and he saw the Mercedes, and Ben Gallagher is firmly behind as well. And F1 Cairo's gained a lot on Alfie as well, but that's because he's on the mediums. So, yeah, I saw the puncture. So, don't worry about it, Dusty, I've seen it. The F1 Cairo's going to be looking at AJ fairly soon. He's on the complete wrong tyre. For some reason, no way Jose has also gone the medium route. So, are they doubting the soft tyre will get to the end or something? I mean, is it touch and go, or is it just a mistake? Because no way Jose's gone for the mediums, even though he hasn't used super softs really at all. They started on the softs, only did 12 laps on them. I'm not sure about this. Maybe they're two stopping. I'm not sure. Maybe someone can throw some light on this, but F1 Caro's looking at the back of Alfie, and that's gonna transform to be a move very shortly. As the Mercedes heads to the outside of the track, will he be able to get straight? Yeah. There was no contest, and the Ferrari of AJ, unfortunately, is just going backwards and backwards and backwards. And it's fair to say that F1 Caro is probably in pole position to win this race, with everyone having their 5 seconds stop and goes. And I don't think he's won a race this season. Oh no, he's won one. He won China. And he's only come second once, actually. So he's having a pretty decent race here at Monza, the Italian, whose season has been a bit up and down, judging by the results. You know, he's only been on the podium 3 times in 10 races, well, 9 races. It's not quite championship winning form. And like, let's say, Matt Noah, for example, who's won twice, above podium 3 times, except for that win. So 5 times on the podium in the 9 races. So that's more like it. When I say 9 races, it's actually 8 races. I'm lying because we didn't do Britain, did we? 5 and 8. That's pretty strong. That's more like it for a champion, let's say. As we head past the halfway stage in this race. As here goes AJ and Ben Gallagher. I think Ben Gallagher's the aggressor rather than AJ. He's dropped a lot of pace compared to Vanquish and racing Cairo. Or Cyro. I think Franda said it was Cyro, but I think it's Cairo. As Ben heads around the outside of Alfie, and looks like Ben's going to get the position on Alfie. As oh god, Alfie hits the back of Ben, and that forces him to take not only to the escape road, but probably the end of his race as well, as he's now only got half front wing. So the only battle we did have has now disappeared. And Alfie's race has gone up in smoke. Literally, I mean, F1 Cairo is still keeping up with Vanquish. He's actually catching him, so... Oh shit. sorry about that, guys. I had things to do. I have lots of things to do. But AJ still hasn't pit. He's about a second off of Jose, so he's keeping up with Jose, but he's in the medium as well. So he's not catching anybody because he's on a worse tyre. Unfortunately for him. As AJ decides to call it on them times, I think. That promotes my number to now P6, and credit to him for sticking at it from where he was. I mean, he was last P11, and now he's getting 8 points out of it. I mean, Cairo will not appreciate this, as a real man pretty much just says, I'll give you the position, teammate. And that's him up into P5 now. I mean, he'll be on the podium at this rate. People keep bottling. Jose has picked up a penalty. Muckings and AJ are both in the pits. And they're both going on the softs to the end. I wonder if the softs can actually get to the end. I mean, it's a mystery, really. Especially on, let's say, Vanquish's car. Well, Ben Gallagher's has been on 7 laps already. He's got another 10 laps on them, 17 laps. I'm not sure. Depends how smooth you are. There's massive gaps. But Avocado is definitely catching Vanquish. Let's have a look at the lap times. So Vanquish has been the odd 22, 23s recently. From Caro has been pretty firmly in the 22s for a while since his pit stop. So he's definitely the quicker driver at this point. And he also has the fastest lap of the race, which doesn't mean anything in T2. No fastest lap in this one. As F1 car has gained 3 positions since start, so start P5, and Jose has binned it at Lesmo 2, and that's him out of the race. And his stricken Force India just sat there, and that creates even bigger gaps. As we are now down to 8 drivers. And it was promising to be a close race, but it's not anymore. Let's put it that way. Right, the only person really, and the closest gap is between Van Cairo and Vanquish, but that's 3 seconds between them. Well, you could say AJ Mucking is 57 seconds off the lead, nearly lapped. Wow, that sounds weird. superhuman hearing. Sounds a lot louder, I'm not gonna lie. I think Kara's actually currently winning this race as well. Chris is on the verge of getting another penalty, but he's been on the verge for a long time. F1 Kara's got one, so if he gets under 2 seconds, he's won the race. Sorry about that, guys. I thought Cairo has taken the lead of the race, which wasn't surprised. It was catching him. It was on Vanquish. Vanquish will keep up, but I don't know for how long. Cairo hasn't picked up another penalty, although he isn't many miles away from getting one. And Vanquish is yet to pick up one, so the situation remains the same. Vanquish needs to beat Gefron Cairo by more than 2 seconds to win the race. The rest of the race hasn't really changed much. Dusty P5, Matt Noah P4 now. But Gefron Cairo have a 13-point swing in his favour for the next round. Skin Up will promise drop out of the championship whatsoever. Or the championship challenge, should I say. Ben Gallagher remains in that P3. 20 seconds off the lead after his mistakes. But with 2 laps to go. And will soft tyres be able to last? It seems like they will do. Ben Gallagher's are still going, I'm pretty sure. And if his are still going, Vanquish's will be still going. As we head now into Scar Chicane for the penultimate time. And will Vanquish be able to get a run on Cairo? It doesn't look like it. But he's got 2 now. Very long straights to try and make something happen into turn 1. A bit of slipstream. It looks like he's being able to get a bit later on the brakes. Now with a bit of DRS, will he be able to get Cairo into turn 1? He opens his DRS now, and he heads now down into turn 1. Will Vanquish be able to get Cairo into turn 1? He tries it round the outside. He didn't really have a choice. We'll switch the camera view to have a look at Ferrari and Mercedes touch. Vanquish all over the curbs, but Cairo keeps the position. It was fair from Cairo there. He left him the room. Vanquish went a little bit too deep, lost the back end slightly, and that cost him. And it'll probably cost him the win. It was pretty much the last ditch attempt. As AJ's still going, gets a penalty. This is behind Mokumic now. And plumb last P8. So it looks like Dusty setup didn't work too much in the race. It was a quality setup. More than likely. Because he hasn't really done a lot since. As here we go. Just going for the last time. And F1 Cairo and Vanquish should both pick up penalties. So if Vanquish wouldn't have picked up a penalty there, he would have won the race. So that's the fine margins we're playing with here as he goes down the final corner now. It looks like F1 Cairo is going to win the race as he comes across the line, and it should be F1 Cairo winning the race, and it is. If Vanquish didn't get that penalty at the end, he would have won the race. But today, 2 leaders, they came quite close together. It should have been even closer, to be honest. As Ben Gallagher comes down for P3, and Matt Noah P4. Brilliant drive from both of them, really. Didn't expect a lot from Ben as either. Whereas we've got Dusty Mokumic's actually retired. Dusty comes across the line for P5. We're only going to have 7 finishes here, as Dusty sets the fastest lap in the process. Rear Wheelman actually gets promoted to P5. Best result of the season for him, I'm presuming. It is better than the Austria result, where it came 6th. And we're waiting for Alfie Jensen to go across the line for P7. A minute down on everybody else, over a minute on the leader. He was in contention to win this race until it went onto the mediums, and then it just went backwards from there. But he finishes P7 in the end. Not the best race in the world, I must admit. A few battles for the lead, but it could have been better. More drivers probably would have done a good job, but done us a better job. But unfortunately, it just wasn't to be. I'd just like to thank everybody who was here tuned in anyway. Hope you enjoyed it to an extent. I can't say it was the best race for me to commentate on. I'm hoping to be back tomorrow. Maybe for the A1 race. Definitely probably for the A1 race. Probably not the T1 race. And hopefully we can have some better action and a better turnout. Obviously, short notice that I told them that we would race at 6:30. I think quite a few of them didn't know, unfortunately. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm 947 and I'm out of here. Goodbye.